So today I'm doing a final review video on my son's Spawn Yoji. This is the 16-inch version, and that is a deer. That's our friendly neighborhood deer. Keeps coming around stealing all our duck and chicken food. So I wanted to do two things here. Go over the things I like and didn't like about this bike, but also show some damage on it because I'm selling it to somebody and I wanted to give him a final look at it because you can't come to look at it personally, so I want to make sure it was accurate. So what do I like about this bike? Well, I should say, what does my son like about it? My son was definitely a lot faster on this bike, that's for sure. Oh, this is funny right here. This hole, I couldn't figure out what that was for. That's to adjust. Goose, can you stop? Stop, Goose. My goose likes to harass me when I'm outside. So, you're back. Stop. Okay, I have to relocate the goose again. Alright, so the knobbies are still great on this. So these things have held up really well. If you look at my other video, you can see the difference. But it almost, to me, looks like there's almost no wear. He did not ride this on the road at all. So that probably helps a lot. He only used it when we actually went mountain biking. So he doesn't really ride on the road. We don't have really roads near me for him to ride. We don't live in a typical neighborhood. We're on 6 acres, so it's basically dirt or no dirt. As you notice on adult bikes, kids bikes, I don't know why, these always seem to get the most wear right here. I don't know if it's hitting there during like crashes or something, but yeah, they still work well. Everything's good there. What's interesting that I noticed today, I was cleaning these, you know, because it does have V-brakes, you do get some wear on the wheels. So, and that happens fast because my son actually didn't ride this a lot. Only, like I said, when I took him mountain biking, and that wasn't often. I taped this as soon as I got it, but you still get some dirt underneath some of the tape in sections, like here in the back as well. Let's see, you know, the typical stuff happens. You know, marks on the cranks from hitting rocks. I like that this has a quick release, so as he grew, it was easily to just keep changing it when we went out instead of having to pull out a screw or anything, a wrench, whatever you want to call it, Allen key to adjust it. So I'm moving the bike as I'm videoing. I'm trying not to do edits, so you're going to get all the fun stuff. Cables have held up well. You know, these take a little bit of effort for a young kid. For me, it's easy. But for a little kid, they do take some effort to pull on them. But he started riding this when he was 4, and he was able to do it right away. So that's something you could figure out. This hole that I was mentioning before in the seat, I didn't realize that's to do your adjustments on the seat post here, so you can change the angle. There's no fore-aft adjustment. Okay, you'd probably have to go buy a real seat post, probably a lot heavier, and you know, so the seat would be a lot heavier also. What else is there about this bike? I mean, let me tell you something. I mean, he rode this like a champion, going from his 12-inch to this 16-inch. I don't know if the cranks are longer on this, but I mean, he just started cooking as soon as he got on this bike. I wasn't personally thrilled about these high rise on the handlebar, but that made a big difference for him also. His other bike was more like, I don't know, more like a cross-country type of bike. This kind of reminded me of BMX, but he had so much more confidence in the downhill, better control. You know, his weight wasn't centered too much over the bars, so he was able to keep weight more on his pedals, and that allowed him to go faster with more control. My recommendation is to not pump up these tires too much, because we think of what we want in terms of air pressure. My son's about 30 pounds, so he's at about 13 psi now. You may want to get lower. I noticed for a while I had too much air in the front tires, rear tires, and he was bouncing and he would wash out the front. Once I took out the proper amount of air, he started holding those corners much better. And part of that might have been because most of his weight is over here. It's not really on the handlebars. So you know, you can teach them to put more weight on the bars to prevent that as well, proper cornering, all that stuff. But just a little side note in terms of air pressure. What else is there about this bike? You can put it in the comments if you have any questions on it overall. Let me flip it over so you can see the other side. This bike new comes with 2 size seat posts. The guy I'm selling to will get that also. It also comes with a chain guard if you're concerned about your kid getting clothes stuck in there. I mean, I always just made sure he wore stuff that wasn't loose. I mean, it can protect for other things too, but that's your choice. As you can see here, I did tape it. There are a little few like minor scratches there. There's definitely tape dirt that got underneath here. The bearings look sealed. These are not quick release. I never needed to remove the tires because the bike's small enough where it even fits in the back of my Tesla, fits in the back seats. It pretty much fit everywhere. The only thing I might have done was lower this down, which is kind of, you know, or maybe you have a rack where it actually fits. I do not have a rack, you know. Like a lot of mountain bikes, you do get some rust in the bolts from washing it and stuff. You know, that just is what it is. These are set up with a tube. I don't know if they go tubeless. Let's put it this way, you can make any bike tubeless, and I have. You just have to use some interesting techniques if it's not made for it. Using saran wrap and all sorts of fun stuff. But let's put it this way, you could probably make almost any wheel tubeless if you know what you're doing. Cool logos on the bike. Look, a little scratch on there too. That looks like it's from the cables rubbing. So that'll happen. You know, the usual scratches and stuff occur to the bike. What else is there to say about this beast? I guess that's about it. It has a nice headset, nice stem, a few cranks. You know, they like to put their skull logo all over the place on the bike. Even on the stem there. There's a Broodco. Looks a little bad in that video. You know, slide these back in. Well, alright, that's about it. If you have any other questions, there's some scratches there too. Please let me know. Your kid, if they're looking for a bike, this held up well for the 2 years that he's used it. Another scratch there. But overall, he loved it. We actually bought him the replacement bike, which is another Spawn, and that is the Jama, I believe it's called, the 20-inch. So he went from 16 to 20, and that has gears. So he was finally ready for gears. And that's it. I'll have a review on that one as well in the near future. So if you have any questions, please let me know. If you want me to cover anything in particular on the next bike, let me know. If you have any questions about this bike, please feel free to reach out. All right, thanks guys. Bye-bye.